journey. Well, I myself Dr. Surendra Singh. My serial number is 12, presenting the college of teaching education on the topic study on the classroom teaching performance. The government has secondary teachers in Tawal district of state. The role to be played by teacher in the educational process of higher secondary schools is a pivotal role. The teacher occupies a vital position in the entire system of education. The success of education to be given to the schools is possible only when there is a competent, committed, and well-performed teacher in the schools who know how to teach effectively, systematically with the use of latest educational technologies. Therefore, in order to impart quality higher secondary education to be given at different higher secondary schools located within Tawal districts, the study tried to find out strong weak points of teachers who are working at the different government higher secondary schools located in the district of Hrdc Manipur state in regard to the classroom teaching performance on the basis of principles and teacher opinions. Article also tried to find out some of the suggestive measures in order to improve the quality of higher secondary education being given within the said districts. Yeah, this is a topic, the study on the classroom teaching performance of the government higher secondary school teachers in the Tawal district, Manipur. And the classroom teaching performance means the classroom teaching performance is the efficiency done by concerned teacher in regard to teaching learning process where the mutual balance is given between teacher and taught in the subject matter concerned. My main hypothesis is to find out the level of the teaching performance done by the 4 government higher secondary school teachers and comparison between the male and female teacher also, and comparison between the science and arts teacher also. Yeah, the first hypothesis is supposed to be tested. Here I find one table which shows the overall percentage is 69%, and then the problem is 31. 61's got the performance is quite, and then the hypothesis that was constructed is the overall the level of classroom teaching performance done by teachers of government higher secondary school within Tawal districts of Manipur is not significantly high. That was a hypothesis. Now this hypothesis is rejected as overall level is above the 60. My finding is 69. But in this percentage, we can find here the highest goes to classroom teaching performance, and second is the lesson planning, and third one is introduction to teachings, language, teaching and overalls. So the most strong weakest point is language and teaching aids. Most of the teachers are lagging behind the using of the ET language to be understood easily by our students, and that is why there is a communication gap between the teacher and taught. And another factor is that most of the subject matter are abstract one and they don't use teaching aids, and that is why there is a misunderstanding and misinformations or difficulty to understand. And this is the second hypothesis is tested with a t-test. The significant is insignificance means there is no difference the teaching performance done by male teacher and female teachers. Doesn't matter maybe male or maybe female, doesn't matter, the levels are quite same. As far as the comparison between the science and art teacher also, the result is insignificant. It means there is no difference between the art teacher and science teachers. We can neglect the science also, art teacher also, its performance are quite same. So what we need here is what? The areas of the, some areas to be care of. As I mentioned already that in areas of the language used by teachers and the teaching aid that was used by teachers, was very irrelevant, and that is why there is a difficulty in giving the teaching performance. If teachers are teaching nicely, but students are facing difficulty to understand as the language which are used by teacher, as the teaching aid that was used by teachers are not relevant, and most of the teachers are not using the appropriate teaching aid. Yeah. So I would like to some suggestions on the basis of the research finding that the overall level of the classroom teaching performance done by government higher secondary school top districts is found to be significantly high at a level of 69% out of the 100, whereas 31 of the total sample was against each, means overall level is 69 high. And the details of the findings, the lowest goes to language, teaching aid and language and manners. So the manner of teacher and teaching aid that is used, this is a very, very low percentage, and that is why there is a less teaching performance in the classroom, and therefore the youth of these days learning from class 9 to 12 have a difficulty, and thereby they are unable to absorb the lessons which are found in the textbooks, and that is why they are unable to change their behavior. So this is one of the great faults of the teacher. Teacher need time to, it is time to reform the teacher way of teaching, and therefore we can reform the behavioral pattern of the students. With this, I'm supposed to stop. Thank you, sir.
And just one small thing. I think you are comparing yourself to government higher secondary schools. Is there any reason behind it? You're opting for, otherwise you could have gone for the private higher secondary schools also. Why you have decided to go for government higher secondary schools?
Actually, sir, the problem is more related to the government schools. Private schools are doing nice jobs when exams is out. Most of the rankers are from private schools. I like to improve the government higher secondary school. That is why this topic was speak of. Yes, I like to put up the standard of the government schools.
Okay, and after going through your study, you realize that they are all, again, not doing that poorly because you have only opted 69%.
Yeah.
So it is not that poor, right? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.